Hey guys, so today I want to make a video on potentially one of the new best skills in the entire game, and this is no joke, it is Kinetic Rain. At least with the current footage we have, the current numbers we have a full level 20 gem info right here, and with the footage they showed, this skill just looks absolutely broken. So I'm going to go over all the reasons why this skill is extremely strong and why it's, if it's not nerfed before League's launch, it's definitely going to be one of the best skills you can play in a new league. And of course, it's going to be the Wander archetype with this as well. So yeah, what is this skill? So this skill has two parts to it. It has the main hit AoE and it has the secondary explosion hit. So they show the footage right here and I'll go over it. But as you can see, he shoots it. 13 projectiles at a base value comes down, and all of these, they can overlap. It is over like a 9-meter radius. This will scale with AoE. So for the most amount of shotguns, you probably will actually want like conk effect, less AoE to get even more overlaps. And while the skill does have 13 projectiles, plus projectiles still helps you get more overlaps. But yeah, as you can see at a base value, you can see there's so many overlaps already happen in this footage. Like right here, you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overlaps. Here's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 overlaps. It's just absolutely insane of how many times this skill actually overlaps, and each overlap is going to be a ton of damage. Oh yeah, which I'll show in a second. So yeah, this is how the skill works. You can see some gameplay footage here. It's not going to be great for clearing. Maybe with like a lot of AoE investment, it could be good for clearing. It's namely going to be used for a single target setup on Wanderers. Probably like a 6-link on this skill and a 4-link on Kinetic Blast will clear, or reverse swap it, 4-link on this skill, 6-link on Kinetic Blast, or you can have a 6-link and essentially have a pseudo 5-link on both. You put both in the 6-link and then both 5 links, right? So yeah, that's what the skill looks like, and that's what it's going to be used for. It's going to be the single target Wander skill. Now, why is this insane? So I have this whole notepad here. Yeah. So it's extremely high DPS skill, rivaling that of like pre-nerf Tornado Shot in terms of DPS, actually even higher than that with the current numbers we have. And it potentially fixes one of the main issues of Wanderers, which is the single target DPS. Wanderers never had insane single target. It's like, pretty good to decent, but nothing really insane. Nothing that of bows, nothing that of slams, nothing that of, pretty much any melee skill in the game, right? It's always been like, just kind of like a mid single target overall archetype with extremely good clear to make up for the bad single target. Well, now you can have extremely good clear with Kinetic Blast and then have absolutely insane single target with this new Kinetic Rain. So yeah, Kinetic Rain at a base value per hit does 305 effectiveness of added damage, 143 from the base hit and 162 from the orb. So as you can see here of how the skill works, you cast it, it comes down, and then every single AoE that explodes on the ground will also leave an orb behind it, and that orb will instantly explode if it hits an enemy. So we can't really see it in the footage, but presumably on a boss, those kinetic anomalies that you spawn will instantly explode if it's on a boss that is still alive. We couldn't really see in the footage because he was just one-shot on enemies anyway. So yeah, at least as far as I can see, this skill at a base value is doing 305% effectiveness of added damage per 1 overlap. Now, on top of that, it also has 110% attack speed, so you're attacking 10% faster than normal skills, which is more DPS on top of that. So yeah, you're looking at 335% DPS effectively. Now keep in mind, all AoE skills in this game can overlap unless it's stated elsewhere, which is not for this skill. So presumably, yeah, if you have 3 or 4 overlaps, they will all damage the target and deal, all the damage. And once again, judging by the footage, on a normal boss, you're easily expecting 4 to 6 overlaps. And then on bigger bosses, let's say Fortress or even the Abomination boss, you can definitely get like 7 to 10 overlaps. Once again, you will need to probably use like conk effect to get more overlaps, maybe plus projectiles. But as you can see with this footage, every single hit, even on these small zombies, is actually an overlap. Like you can see here, the overlap is just absolutely insane. Like on a regular sized balls, you're definitely reaching like 5 or 6 overlaps at minimum per cast. That is just going to be an insane amount of damage. But yeah, even at a conservative overlap of 3, you're still doing 1000% DPS, which is just insane. For an example, KB, the initial base projectile is 178% DPS, and then the explosion is an extra 116% per an explosion. So, even at a base value of KB, you will need like 8 overlaps of explosions, which doesn't usually happen per cast, just to match a simple 3 target overlap of this skill. So yeah, even at 3 overlaps, which is very, very realistic, even on the smallest mobs in the games, as we just saw with the footage right there, you're beating the standard KB plus Tornado single target setup, which wasn't anything insane. It was just like an okay setup. And this is already going to be like probably, if I had to guess, somewhere between 3 to 4 times of that damage, which is just a ton more damage than Wanderers really didn't have before. And then yeah, on a real boss with a bigger hitbox, let's say Fortress boss, everyone does Fortress, one of the most played tier 17s. you're probably hitting at minimum 5 to 6 overlaps, if not more, meaning you're doing somewhere between 1600 to 2000% DPS. That is just an absurd number. Once again, this could be nerfed before launch because yeah, these numbers currently just look absolutely insane. And it also has that tagline where, you know, spell damage applies to attacks at 150% value, so you still get all that nice bonus from stacking spell damage as you do with a Wander. And on top of all that, there's a second benefit here too. As another benefit, this skill hits twice because, you know, you have the initial hit and the explosion. Both of them will count as your hits. So per an overlap, you're also doing 2x hits. This is really, really high value for stuff like, you know, life on hit, mana on hit, ES on hit, right? These are stats you usually always get on a Wander. Life on hit and mana hit is actually usually a will you take, and you can get ES hit on like a Watcher's Eye for like really good survivability. And as another benefit, this would also like pretty much instantly stack the Warden Shock node to 100%, the Oath of Spring node. So yeah, just another nice secondary benefit here. Now, of course, there's also another Wander skill that's coming for single target. That is the wall, the Lucian wall, whatever it's called. We don't really have the numbers on this, so I don't want to talk about it too much. We don't have the level 20 skill gem. We don't really know, is it duration based? Is it only hit based? As far as I can see from the footage, he hit it like 2 or 3 times and it goes away. So really hard to say, you know, how good this skill is going to be. But of course, this could be another option that could vastly improve the single target of Wanders. But if not, like I said, at least right now with the numbers we have and the footage we have, Kinetic Rain is just looking absolutely insane and definitely fixes, you know, the biggest issue of Wanders, which is their single target. Yeah, that's about it. Wanders is definitely a build I'm most likely going to league start. I will have my league start video out, of course. It's definitely looking extremely strong in a new patch. You're going to have extremely good clear, and on top of that, you're going to have extremely good single target, assuming the skill doesn't get nerfed. But yeah, that's about it.